Hi, guys. How is everybody? What a time we're enduring. Let's see if the chat works so that you guys can submit questions. I'm coming to you live from the bookshelf where Olivia and I are working hard. Can you guys let me know if you're here? There was Olivia. We are working hard to get out online orders, and we have a book talk later this afternoon for people who bought Reader Retreat in a bag. I'd love to give you all updates, but I cannot tell if you can hear me yet. Let's see. Oh, there you guys are. Okay, wait. I'm going to have to pop it out so I can see it. I couldn't see any of your responses. Oh, okay. There everyone is. Okay. All right. So, is everybody holding up okay? This is the weirdest time to be a human. I have so many thoughts on what it's like to be a business owner right now. Okay, there. Thank you, Lori Lynn. Okay. There everybody is. All right, so basically I think we got 3 or 4 questions in advance. So if you have a question about the bookshelf, about life, what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're doing to quarantine, to protect the bookshelf, to protect our staff, any business questions, bookshelf questions, any questions, leave them in the chat and I will get to them. I'm going to start with this one from Sarah Ferguson. Needs a book recommendation for her dad. He's a retired geography teacher, likes mysteries and history. I just got him Splendid in the Vial. Splendid in the Vial was my first recommendation. Actually, if he hasn't done the other Eric Larsons, I'd really recommend them too. I loved Dead Wake. I really liked Devil in the White City. It was a slow burn, but I liked it a lot. Another thing Olivia and I have sold a few of right now is the British Library put out these mysteries, like in the same vein as Agatha Christie, but they're from the British Library, so a lot of American readers haven't read them yet. They're great. I found them, actually, I saw them at Malaprop's bookstore in Asheville when I went, and now we stock them too. Can you guys hear us jamming out? I told Olivia to leave the music on so you guys can get a real sense of the mood. Okay, so anyway, I would start there. It also depends on if he's like a PG mystery guy or like a thriller suspense guy. I'm going to guess PG mystery, in which case Magpie Murders, the Anthony Horowitz series, Olivia and Nancy both really like. Let me think. I was going to say, so obviously I really like the early John Grisham stuff. I was going to say we just finished The Holdout. Oh, and I just read A Good Marriage, which comes out in June. It is more of a thriller, but because the author is a former attorney, I think that would be really good. I really liked it. It had a lot to do with the legal world. And then, I was going to recommend another one. So The Holdout, A Good Marriage. Oh, Defending Jacob, which is a Backless title, which I recommend a lot. It's a great audiobook, super good, thought-provoking, very reminiscent of early John Grisham. Okay, so that for mystery. History, I'd go Eric Larson. My dad really likes David McCullough and those biographies. He just wrote one about the pioneers and the American West. I also think it might be fun to give your dad some fiction that is history adjacent. So These Hills Are Gold, which comes out in April, is set during the gold rush with Chinese American immigrant children as the main characters. I think that's kind of a fun, interesting twist and thought experiment. Trying to think of any others. I wish the covers, I have an issue with some historical fiction covers, but I thought We Were the Lucky Ones was excellent. And my dad read it and loved it. My dad also read, David McCullough, John Meacham, and and then Gilbert King. Those would be, so Sarah, I hope that helps. Those are some recommendations. Okay, let's see what else, you guys. Yay, reader retreat bags are coming. I'm so glad. Y'all, Olivia and I are working so hard. We have so many online orders, and I cannot thank everybody enough for that. But we are packaging up as if it was Christmas. But it's just the two of us in the store. So I'm glad you're getting your books. We are looking at a 1 to 2 day turnaround if your books are in stock, 3 to 5 days if we have to special order. Hope that helps. Okay. Yay. Oh, Nicole, I'm so glad you saw the link. And I'm glad, like I said, we've been really busy. And so I wasn't sure today was the day to do a literary lunch break. But I also thought so many of you are at home and maybe you did need this today. So I hope it helps. Okay. Looks like I've got a question from Tara. Ooh, this is a good question. Do you anticipate book release dates changing going forward? Doesn't seem like workers involved in book printing and warehouse are considered essential. That's a great question, Tara. So interestingly, and look, I come from the book selling side of this, and I only have knowledge that people give me. So I am by no means an expert, but I will tell you that our major publisher book warehouses are still open and shipping. That's the reason we're able to complete orders right now. Oh, I see another question. I'll get to, sorry, I see some more questions. So we are still, like today, we got a big shipment from Penguin Random House. We are getting Ingram orders every day. So right now, things are business as usual. Obviously, they're not. I love this song. They're not, it's not business as usual, but the warehouses, because of their location, are still open. We heard from one of our warehouses that's in Maryland. They thus far have not been affected or not affected greatly. I think we're all affected at this point, but it's not like a New York City or a San Francisco or a Chicago situation yet. So right now, book warehouses are still open and shipping. Now, the day that ends is the day our business will change drastically, because right now the reason we're being able to fulfill orders is because we're still getting deliveries every day. We're Lysoling the boxes and we're washing our hands, but we are still getting boxes every day. This is a fun fact. Our UPS guy has told us that he has never seen so little shipments, like so few shipments. But we are still getting like a giant shipment every day. I wonder if the book industry will be affected like the movie industry, like with book release dates changing. I do feel sorry, and I think Glennon Doyle has been really vocal about this because she had a book that released in March. I think about Anne Bogle. I think she has been vocal. Authors whose books released in March, I feel really sorry for. We're looking at obviously canceled author events, or author events going virtual, which is great. We have not been able to take advantage of that because we don't have the staff right now and we're busy fulfilling orders. So we've not been able to explore a ton of virtual options with the exception of this and our reader retreat chat, which will be later this afternoon. I do have a personality workshop in the works that would be online, and Jordan and I would run it together. So that's coming. But I don't know if release dates will change. And the only reason I say that is because we've seen a huge uptick personally in online sales. I don't know if we're alone in that. I think some bookstores are really struggling right now. And that is disheartening and hard for me to read and hard for me to fully understand. It makes me really anxious. And so I've been staying off of Instagram as much as possible. And trying to just focus on our shop and our work for now, while also thinking about and praying for the other bookstores in our industry, because I do think this is a tough time. I don't know if release dates will change. If anything, I think April release dates might stay the same, maybe, because those books are, I'm guessing, already printed and ready to go. We'll see about May and June. That's a great question, Tara, and something I have also been thinking a lot about. Okay, Rachel. What am I reading, watching, listening to, eating for comfort? I told Jordan Jones, I said, I feel like I'm going to gain the Corona 15, like forget the freshman 15, because I'm just eating all the time because Olivia and I work all day and bust it all day. And then I go home and that's when I start getting the news alerts. And so I start snacking. I love Magnum ice cream bars. Those are my favorite. Like pop. I like a lot of popcorn. I like veggie straws. I like Cheez-Its, but we're out of those right now, and so is our Publix. Here is what we're watching. I think this is interesting. I begged Jordan. I was like, we need a new show. I've been introducing him to Superstore, and that's fine. But weirdly, as a business owner, it does get stressful toward the end, I feel like. And then so we were like, we need a new show. I've heard some new Tiger show on Netflix is good, but we've not started it. All of our HBO shows are done, except we have started the Plot Against America, which is good, but intense. And like, if you're not in the mood for that right now, I get it. So we started 2 nights ago, Poldark, which I had heard rumblings of, but had never paid much attention to because I couldn't figure out what it was. But we downloaded the PBS app to watch something else. I think American Experience documentaries. I'm not sure. Sanditon. I had heard Sanditon was good. Sanditon. Anyway, so we started Poldark 2 nights ago, and we are very much hooked. I was worried. I mean, it feels a little cheesy, but it's kind of fun to provide your own commentary through. It's one of my personal gifts. And so I'm loving it. Can't decide if the lead is blandly handsome or too handsome to function. Still deciding. Jordan actually asked me that while we were watching last night. But it fills that Downton Abbey hole in my heart. So that's what I've been watching for comfort. And like, I leave work, we go home, eat dinner, maybe go for a walk, and then that's what we sit down and watch a couple episodes. We also love Impractical Jokers on True TV. We love it so much. Jordan got me hooked. I was not a fan, and now I love it. It's so mindless and great. Reading, I talk a lot on tomorrow's podcast episode. Because it's the March reading recap, and I'm going to talk all about the books I read in March, most of which were deeply affected by all of this. I have found myself gravitating towards, obviously, rom-coms, some YA, thriller, suspense, basically books that will hold attention and that I can fly through. I already mentioned Glennon Doyle, but Untamed was great. Pick up, put down book, which I also found really reliable. That was a good question, Rachel. It's hard, isn't it? This is also hard. I don't have words for it. I'm not a therapist, so I don't have words for it. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to look. Tara, my 14-year-old nephew is a tough reader listener. He did like Colson Whitehead's Nickel Boys. Any recommendations? Oh, that's great. If he liked Colson Whitehead's Nickel Boys, I mean, the easiest thing to do, right, is to hand him Underground Railroad, which I think is equally compelling and really intense and good. It depends on why he liked the Nickel Boys. If he liked the Nickel Boys because of the feelings it evoked and the social justice aspect, then I really recommend The Hate U Give, Just Mercy, which I think he could read the adult version, but there's also a young adult version. And there's Stamped from the Beginning, which has a new really great looking young adult edition. If he liked it because the story was compelling, then I'm going to second my recommendation for the backlist book, Defending Jacob. Gosh, I'm looking around the store. Hey, Olivia, would The Boy and the Dog at the End of the World be good for a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay, A Boy and His Dog at the End of the World. Stacy, I think, would be good. That's an Olivia pick. She loves it. And I think, kind of comparable to Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Yeah, does that help? Does that give you a starting point? Okay, somebody else liked Defending Jacob. Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Okay, I just said on air that I loved Good Marriage, Reconstructing Amelia by the same author. Good Marriage does not come out until June. Sorry, guys. But Reconstructing Amelia is out now. The Dinner by Herman Koch, K-O-C-H. The Holdout. Did I already say that? Classic John Grisham. I'm thinking Pelican Brief kind of stuff. Body in Question. Those are great kind of jury stories. I've said before, my favorite suspense thriller author is Tana French. I stand by that. But I do think very different tone from Defending Jacob. I like books written by lawyers because I think they know what they're talking about. Weirdly, I think Little Fires Everywhere would be comparable to Defending Jacob based on the themes. Okay, those are my recommendations for those. Yes, Deborah, I can talk about Untamed. So I'm going to talk about it some on the podcast tomorrow, but if you don't mind hearing me talk about it twice. Untamed, I have read all of Glennon Doyle's books. I read Carry On Warrior years ago, Love Warrior, and I wasn't sure I was going to pick up Untamed just because I did wonder, like, how many memoirs can a 40-year-old person put out? Just because, like, that's a lot of memoirs in a short span of time. Like, I think she's published those within the last 10 years. But I picked up Untamed actually because a customer came in talking about how much they had liked it so far. Like, it had come out on Tuesday, and I think this customer came in on Friday. So I picked it up over the weekend and blew through it. Absolutely blew through it. The essays almost feel disjointed at first. I say standalone. Each chapter is a different essay. Some are short, some are a couple pages. If you followed along on Instagram the other day, I did Comfort in the Time of Corona, where I read my favorite chapter, and it was like 3 pages. Some chapters are 6 to 12 pages. Kind of like the B.J. Novak short story collection I loved. Untamed is definitely essays, very much Brene Brown adjacent, Elizabeth Gilbert, which that's not surprising. That's who Glennon Doyle spends a lot of her time with online. This book is a mix of personal memoir and personal story, and also kind of self-help encouragement. Glennon and I don't always agree with everything. Like, our worldviews might, I think, be a little different. But I think her writing is great, and I love books that make me think. This one, one chapter I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely 100% true. I love this. This is inspiring. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel powerful, and like, go get them. And then the next chapter I would think, I wonder what I think about that. And like, it would cause me and Jordan to have a conversation or whatever. So I loved it. I think the writing is good. I do think Glennon is the real deal. Like, I think she has gone through a lot of change in the last 5 to 10 years. She and her husband divorced after the publication of Love Warrior, and then she remarried Abby Wambach, the U.S. women's soccer player. So she's experienced a lot of change, and I think she has a lot to say about that. And I love hearing what people have learned from their own personal experience. So anyway, I really liked it. Also, I thought the writing was beautiful. Bridget, yes. We are in the process. Like I said, we are playing some catch up because we've had so many online orders. So those reader retreat bags went swimmingly, which was awesome because we had them. And the disappointment over not having reader retreat this past weekend was real. And so reader retreat in the bag made us feel better, and hopefully it made you guys feel better too. We will probably do those again. Like, I think we actually I wanted to make sure we had enough bags. I actually think we have a few extra. Don't tell anybody. I think we had a few extra. So you may see these go on the website. We are playing a lot of things by ear right now, as are bookstores all over the country. I suspect if we are able to continue functioning, meaning we are currently closed to the public. It's why I can do this in the front of the store. But we are taking phone and online orders. If we get a good place with our online orders, I would imagine we would reintroduce reading retreat bags in the next couple weeks. We don't have very many left, but we have a few we could sell. And then long term, I do think reader retreat in a bag is something we might do. So stay tuned. A lot just depends on if we were to receive what is it called? Station yourself at home. What is it? Shelter at home. If we were to receive that kind of directive, it would affect day-to-day operations here. But reader retreat in a bag was a huge boost to online orders, and it has enabled us to be able to support staff and to have a hope for the future. I think some bookstores are really struggling with a hope for the future. We're not there yet, thank goodness. So yes, stay tuned, Bridget. I do think those will be coming back. Jennifer, is the new Emily St. John Mandel going to be too dark for right now? It is not as dark as Station 11. I do not actually. I said this on the New Release Tuesday podcast yesterday. I think if you've never read Emily St. John Mandel, I would start with Station 11. However, would I start with that book right now? Well, maybe not. Depends on your stamina and depends on how much you want to prep and how much you want to, I don't know, how much you want to read that reminds you of what's going on in the world. A woman came in the other day, truly, and bought this was before we were closed to the public. She bought, I think, $200 worth of post-apocalyptic novels. That's a true story. So we all have different ways of coping. The writing style of The Glass Hotel is very much in the same vein as Station 11, but the story is very different. I do not think, now, I like dark things, but I do not think that book is too dark for right now. I do think Station 11 is probably, it's too close to home. I don't think Glass Hotel is dark in the sense that it deals with a complicated sibling relationship and a Ponzi scheme. There you go. So I don't think it's too terribly dark. I haven't opened it yet. I'm so excited. I hope you love it. I got 8 Perfect Murders. Oh, I think this was for Sarah Ferguson's dad. I've heard 8 Perfect Murders is good. We've sold a couple. Anne Bogle's doing a stay-at-home book tour. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I think a lot of us are having to think creatively, authors included. And, we've been trying to read portions of work out loud. Of course, then there are copyright laws. So, it's just, gosh, we're all just having to adjust and get creative. And I did see that Anne Bogle, I saw that yesterday, that she was doing that stay-at-home book tour. So, and then Politics and Prose has a backlog of author interviews that if you are bored at home and want something to watch, I've heard those are excellent. One of our customers highly recommends them, and I've been able to watch a couple. So if you're looking for a way to interact with authors, but you can't right now because nobody's going on tour, then I think that would be really fun. Bless you. Okay, Renee. Jenna Bush is postponing her book release date to September. That's a bummer. That was going to be a big summer book. I think summer is going to be tough. I think summer is going to be tough for booksellers. I think that book was a May or June release. And that's why I say I think April book dates might stay the same. I don't know about summer. And summers are already notoriously slow. Like spring is normally really good for us. I'm talking about for us. If industry-wide, I think it totally depends on where you're located. Because some bookstores are tourism-only bookstores. They're only open during peak seasons, like during the summer. But I think if summer release date starts to change, I don't know. There's a lot to think about, and I'm trying not to. I'm trying truly to just take one day at a time. That is my key to survival right now. Okay. Please, would you let us know? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for this question. The best way to order a book if it is not on our website, and that is because for so many reasons that I guess I don't need to explain right now, but basically our website has a curated selection of our favorite titles. But if you go to our website and you go to shop, I'm having to visualize it, underneath, you can see like books, pre-orders, from the front porch, gifts. There is one that says custom order. You tap that, fill in your custom order form. It'll send it to us. We'll create an order for you and a link so that then you can pay online with your credit card. That's option 1. Option 2 is to call us. Just call our phone number. I will put it in here. Actually, yeah, I will. You can always just call the store and we can take your order over the phone and take your credit card over the phone. So those 2 options, the custom order form online or call us on the phone. Somebody just did. Oh, good. Poldark is good. That's good to know. Because like I said, there are some moments of cheese, but also I'm okay with it. I do think he varies. I felt like he was blandly handsome kind of until yesterday. He did take off his shirt and I was like, oh no, now you're too handsome to function. Okay. Any super fluffy recommendations? I need something to counteract the outside stress. I think other people have made comments below. You guys are so good. This is what I love about readers. Everybody has good recommendations. But I'll tell you, I am reading, I just finished Carrie Winfrey's new book, which is a pre-order, supposed to come out this summer, but waiting for Tom Hanks, The Flat Share. I've heard In 5 Years is good, but it also has a dose of reality, so you've been warned. I like Taylor Jenkins Reid books, her Backless in particular. I have heard The Hating Game is good. I've not read it. Jasmine Guillory has great books. Just know that going in that they're more open door romance, so they're PG-13 plus. Let's see. Love young adult for this because their romance tends to be more PG. I love Julie Buxbaum. I love Field Notes on Love, Windfall. Not a rom-com, but most likely was a delight about the first female president. I think I talk about it in tomorrow's episode. Okay, those to me are good, fluffy recommendations. And I feel you. Nobody feel guilty for what they're reading right now because at least you're reading. I have had a hard time focusing on books, I'll be honest. But I was able to finish a lot in March because I decided to read thrillers and rom-coms and YA. If you want super fluff, you want Love is Blind. Y'all, Love is Blind is bonkers. And if you follow the podcast, they're recapping it for their patrons in April. And I feel like Love is Blind, I had a group text going about Love is Blind for like a month. Not a month, like a week. It was able to take our minds off Corona and COVID. Oh, meet cute. I'd wonder about that, Amy. Thanks for commenting. Yes, Andrea, that's such a good note. A lot of people have asked, and I don't know if this would include any of you, but shelf subscriptions are still going out. That is our plan. Now, every day is different, but our plan is to begin packaging those up Friday and Saturday and have those ship out Monday or Tuesday. Again, barring catastrophe, closure of the postal service, shelter in place directives, whatever. So our April shelf subscriptions should be going out early next week. Early. They're going out early because of all this. Don't quote me on any of this because it all could change. But we have received a couple of emails from people who want their boxes shipped to a different address. And so if that is you, if that applies to you, you need to email us so that we can do that. We are happy to accommodate it, but we do need to know. A lot of people, we had a couple people who sent boxes, they sent their stuff to work addresses before because that was easier. But now they're not at work because they're working from home. And you're right, Andrea, like apartment living. So if you are having stuff shipped from us anyway, and you need a change of address, just email us. Email contact us at bookshelfthomasville.com. Do not email me right now. I won't get it. Poor Michelle is going through my inbox on the reg because there's no time. Okay. If we see a slowdown in new releases, I hope that's not true, guys, but I think you're right. What are some Backless Quirky lit? Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. Don't sleep on Storied Life of A.J. Fickery's other book, the title of which escapes me. Gabrielle is her name, and the other book is very good. Something About Jane. I cannot remember it, but I really liked it. Campaign Widows. I think it's The Closers. There's some book. No, a book by Jennifer Close is actually any book by Jennifer Close is good. Any book by J. Courtney Sullivan. For quirky, I like Standard Deviation, and I like The Misfortune of Marion Palm. Let's see. I also like The Rosie Project. I feel like I read the first two. I think it wound up being a trilogy, and I did not finish the trilogy. Flat Share. Sorry. Okay. I get so distracted. There's so many questions. Amy, did that help you? I love J. Courtney Sullivan. I think she's reliable. Curtis Sittenfeld. Jennifer Close. Even some of Emily Giffen's I don't mind. That's less quirky, more rom. Quirky, Standard Deviation, Misfortune of Marion Palm. Okay. And anything by Jonathan Evison. This Is Your Life, Harriet Chance. I loved that book. Okay. Little Fires Everywhere. I need to watch that show, and I haven't yet. Loved Flat Show. Thought it was fun and different. Anything else you would recommend if I liked that? There's a new book coming out called Superhost. I thought it was fine, but I think other people are going to love it. Like, I thought it was good, but I think other people are really going to like it. It is set in Great Britain. I really think anything British, to me, Flatshare felt like a very British rom-com. So Laura Jane Williams has a book out called Our Stop. I also think she's got a new one coming out later this year. I would pay attention to her. And one day in December, and I feel like I read another book. Superhost comes to mind. Look for, my recommendation for you, Elizabeth, would be to look for British authors. Okay, 2 more questions. Let me see. Nicole, I think I answered that already. Deborah just read Glass Hotel is so confused. Okay. Oh, Major Pettigrew's Last Stand was supposed to be great, and it was a backlist title that missed me. This would be a good time probably to catch up on backlist titles. Again, I think April we might be okay, but I think starting May and June we might have some issues. Young Jane Young, thank you. Okay. Oh, good, Andrea. I'm glad you got your package. Look, our local post office is awesome. We have had some issues with some other post offices. I have talked to a post office in Jacksonville. Like, I've called post offices before to help you guys find your packages. Maine was so good. And J. Courtney Sullivan has a new one coming out called Friends and Strangers that I'm reading right now, and I'm really liking it. Jennifer, wait on Conversations with Friends, in my opinion. Wait. I loved Normal People. I thought it was awesome. Conversations with Friends, I did not finish. So just put a thumb down. That's what Jordan says. Put a thumb down. Just wait. Don't read that right now. Maybe space it out. Because I think I tried it too quickly after Normal People. Okay, guys. This was so fun. It's like lightning round. Thank you for all your questions. I think we had a lot of new patrons this month because of all that's going on, and it is a great way to support us because I hope that it is accessible and relatively inexpensive, and it gets you free shipping. We try to produce great bonus content for you. Olivia is busy at work, so I'm going to join her and start packaging up some orders today. We are so grateful for all of your support. Again, it's hard. We're watching bookstores struggle. I am watching our vibrant, beautiful downtown, and it is just depressing. And we're just hoping and praying that things go back to normal or a new normal in a few weeks. So thank you all. We are so grateful for what you're doing for us, for how you're supporting us, for how you're supporting other independent bookstores across the country. It means the world. Okay, I'm going to go help this customer. Y'all have a great day, and I will see some of you at Reader Retreat, virtual reader retreat, Comforting Books for Tough Times at 4 today. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Come back. We'll be back next month, so be prepared with more questions. Okay. Bye.